Welcome to the Seeds of Discovery podcast, a space for exploring energy, intuition, and the deeper layers within. We're your hosts, Elaine Riley, Beth Blair, and Amanda McCaskill. Together, we guide conversations around Reiki, spirituality, astrology, and the subtle patterns that shape our lives, not as something to fix, but as something to witness, understand, and work in relationship with. This is a space for exploring your inner world, for noticing your patterns, your energy, and your natural rhythms so you can move through life with more awareness, intention, and alignment as you navigate the transitional pathways unfolding within you. All right. Got to get the laugh out of the way.
I was waiting for the laugh. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I am good. We're going to be talking about integration of Reiki or Reiki integration. And I feel like that is such a topic, probably more than one podcast. But we can lay the groundwork and then see where we go. See, I'm stumbling over my words, and I have a note here to watch my own. What does integration look like when you're talking about Reiki? There's that newness of when you get attuned or whatever. And that certainly is an integration. We talk about the 21 days after you receive an attunement, ignition, placement, that the energy adjusts. So that's one aspect of integration. How would you explain to somebody how your experience of that?
Of the 21-day experience or just in general?
Or just the beginning parts of Reiki. Yeah, I'm putting you right on the spot, throwing you on there.
Right. Reiki integration in the beginning is, I kind of liken it to like an energy high. Like you have this new magical energy and it's flowing through you. And it's like a new superpower that you all of a sudden have. So I don't know why this image is coming, but like taming a dog, getting it to get used to your energy. Like you bring a dog home, it's in a new home, it's super exciting. The dog is excited. You got to kind of train it to work with your schedule, how your home runs. And that, to me, for whatever reason, that's what's coming in about integrating Reiki into your daily life. It's training it how to work with you and vibing with your energy. I don't know.
Okay, but I'm gonna call you on that one, because you know who the dog is in your scenario? It's not the Reiki.
No, it's not. It's the person. Yeah, for
Okay,
sure.
but that right there is something that shows up for people, right? It's that they think they have this magic sword now that they can wield, and that's Reiki in their mind. Is, I have the power, I'm controlling this. Okay. No,
Nope, not at all.
it's you're the sword and Reiki is working with you. So in your story, you're the dog.
It's so true, though. Because you think you have, like I said, this magic superpower, and you do, but you have to learn how to work with it. And you have to learn how it's going to work with you and how you're going to use it. And you have to use it in order, like, it is there. Once you get attuned to Reiki, you always have it, but you need to develop a relationship with it in order for it to work at its best and work for you.
Yeah, because you have free will, and Reiki is not going to overstep. So as you're going down the road, and maybe you should be putting some Reiki on your car before you get in your car, but you don't. It's not going to say, "Oh, wait a minute, Elaine, don't back up. Let me step in here." It doesn't work that way.
No.
It doesn't work that way.
No.
So, yeah. And I think the piece that I don't want to say students miss, but maybe they do, is that integration with Reiki is a very personal and unique experience. The reason I put you on the spot is because how it was for you is very different than how it was for me. Yes, I did have that energy high, and I was in the midst of, I was a massage therapist at the time. So it was all about my practice. It was all about a service that I was offering. It was a technique. Okay. I was so wrong about what it really was for me and in my life. Now, I had been doing other energy practices because had studied healing touch and I was teaching Tai Chi and I was really working with energy. And I'm going to say, just for the differentiation, the frequency of Reiki was so different than the chi I was moving in my Tai Chi practice, or the energy that I was working with in healing touch, or the spontaneous things that would happen in a massage session. And I had the idea that it was all about a service that I was offering. So it took a while for it to land in me with an understanding that it was here to work with me and help me on my path. And I was a slow learner. I'm not going to lie. For a while, I was a slow learner.
Well, yeah. That's the world we live in, though. We are taught to put other people first and to use it for other people. So I feel like that's a natural way that we think about integrating Reiki when we think about doing Reiki. I feel like 9 times out of 10 people learn how to do Reiki because they want to heal other people, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But you are a person too, and you need healing. You provide, I'm going to say, just stronger experience, a stronger Reiki experience when you're coming from a strong relationship that you built with Reiki for yourself, for your own healing.
Right. Because the energy flows more clearly, more directly. You're out of the way of the healing because you realize that you're not the one doing the healing, that you're in conversation with the person's energy with Reiki. It's a trio. If you're working on a client, it's a trio. It's a relationship between the Reiki, the person, and you. So, yeah. Now, we talk about in our classes, it's a little warning thing. You know,
Nervous
disclaimer
laughter. Yeah.
that over the next 21 days, you could experience a healing crisis. We really don't like the word crisis. Some people call it a trauma, some people call it an experience. But over the next 21 days, there's this integration period. And it goes on longer than that, but it's kind of like when you put on your clothes in the morning and you feel your clothes, and then you go throughout your day and then you don't feel your clothes unless it's uncomfortable. That, to me, that's what that 21 days is. It's that place where the newness is, I don't want to say wearing off, but it kind of wears off. It assimilates into you, it aligns your energy.
Mhm.
And stuff happens in that 21 days.
It does. Yes.
Nervous laughter.
Yes. I was actually talking to somebody about this recently. They had just started energy healing work, and they're like, I feel like my life is chaos right now. Here I am trying to do this energy healing for myself, and all of a sudden all these things are happening. And I'm like, insert, healing crisis. It's a real thing. So when you do something like learn Reiki or try and better yourself spiritually, your vibration higher. Like you higher your vibration. And Reiki is like a catapult for that. It is such high vibrational energy that once you're attuned to Reiki, you just level up. So you level up and everything else stays the same around you. So what is not meant for your new energy falls away. And a lot of the time we don't realize that that's what's happening, and we're not ready for that to happen. But it's what needs to happen in order for us to stay at that leveled up energy.
Right.
So that's why it's called a crisis, because yeah.
And it doesn't happen for everyone, but
Mhm.
or gotta find the right word there, because this is another one of those cautionary things. People fall away in your life. Relationships that are not healthy for you all of a sudden come to an end.
Mhm.
As you're working with Reiki energy, aspects of yourself get healed, and all of a sudden your interactions with people who may have, I'm trying to find a nice word, a gentle word, just you don't fit anymore. You've outgrown them, or you've decided to stop taking their crap. I don't know. I mean, there's something that happens when you heal and other people don't heal ahead.
Yeah.
And I don't mean ahead as in better than. You move along your path, I guess would be a safe way. And I'm being very cautious today. I don't know what that is.
I think it's in the energy. We talked about it earlier. There's so much. I mean, the distortion is real right now as far as the astrology goes. And I feel like it is going to be like that for a little bit. So I feel like a lot of people are cautious with what they're saying and how they're using their energy. But
Well, go ahead.
something I would, this is not on topic, but caution people with is be cautious about how you speak to yourself and how you discern energy for yourself. So many people are being cautious about how they're speaking to or interpreting what other people are saying or relaying what other people are saying, and that it needs to be turned around. Just like the integration period with Reiki, we need to use the Reiki for ourselves and integrate the energy first.
And I don't think that saying you need to listen to yourself first. I mean, you hear everything that you say, whether you're speaking to someone else or your internal self-talk is happening. And many times I feel that people don't realize that they're listening to themselves. It's kind of like the Google and Apple devices in your house that are listening.
Yeah. Oh, gotta love it.
Yeah. So working with Reiki daily creates more change. So even beyond, okay, so I'm going to fast forward past the 21 days integration. You've gone through a whole bunch of stuff. You've cleaned up a whole bunch of stuff. Your relationships have changed. Okay. And now you're coming to a place of, I'm not going to say neutrality, but like things have leveled off a little bit. Okay. And you may have dropped off on your Reiki practice because usually that's what happens after 21 days. People revert back to habits. Maybe they get busy, they start forgetting about Reiki, and then they bring it back. So then they start doing a daily practice again. And then guess what happens? You need to integrate the Reiki because you're leveling up again. The more you invite the energy in, the more you bring your awareness to the energy, to Reiki, and invite it in to heal you, the more you level up, the more integration you need. And so it goes.
Yeah.
Now, that doesn't sound all that pleasant, but I personally like it because it keeps challenging me to move forward. It invites me to be more authentic, to heal the challenges, the things that I don't want to face.
Those are the things that keep us stuck. So many people talk about having stuck energy, or they don't know where to go, or they don't know the path to take, or where they need to focus on. For me, connecting to Reiki every day and creating that practice helps me to focus the energy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it shows me what I need to work on. Pleasant or unpleasant, but even working through I've said this before, working through the challenges and the hard stuff helps you grow even more than the fun, fluffy stuff.
Well, and there's not I've arrived at the top of the mountain and, I've gotten the golden ticket and, now Willy Wonka is going to give me the factory because I've reached master level in Reiki. I have to continue my path until the end. So the more that I can continue to invite Reiki in, integrate it into my life. So what does that look like? That means I wake up in the morning before I get out of bed, I'm having a conversation with Reiki. I have my coffee. While I'm making my coffee, I might think, hey, Reiki in my coffee would be delicious. Okay. Get the dog food ready. Again, little Reiki on the dog food, cat food. Can't leave early out of the mix here.
Yeah.
And then we go on our way and we go out to the park and I'm in nature and there are some days that I am sending Reiki to the trees. And then there's some days where I'm just bringing it into myself. So it's all of those places. It's in the shower. It's in my desk. It's at my desk with my day job. Sometimes there are days that I'm calling it in more there than I, so how does it show up for you? With the chickens, with the kids, with the...
Yeah, all of the above. I was thinking this morning, getting ready for the podcast, thinking about how I integrate Reiki. And the first thing that came to my mind was, my little meditation in the morning. But then all this other stuff started flooding in, just like you said, all the places that I use it. It's not just like we think about practicing Reiki every day. And that's the first thing that comes to mind, my little Reiki meditation. But it's not just that. It's so much more. It's calling it in. I Reiki the kids as they go off to school every day. As, one gets on the bus and I drive the other. As I'm driving, I'm Reikiing the car that we're driving in and I'm sending him to school with his little Reiki bubble, Reikiing the school. Like you said, the animals, my chicken is sick right now, unfortunately. So I'm in there raking the chicken for the highest outcome. And it's not, there again, I'm not controlling the energy. I'm not controlling what happens. I'm just hoping that it gets the energy that it needs for its highest good, whatever that is. And, my plants, I raking my plants out there while I'm watering them in the garden. Yeah.
And your indoor plants too, I hope.
Yeah. Yes. Although for whatever reason, I don't pay attention to those as much as I do the outdoor plants.
Maybe there's an opportunity there to expand your Reiki practice.
I was just thinking that maybe that needs to be a new practice of mine.
Well, and you're using it for real life. And I think that's the part that gets missed sometimes. We think that we have to have this grand setup to sit down. Okay, I'm going to do Reiki now. I'm going to bring out my massage table or I'm going to lay on a meditation cushion and come on at me, Reiki. And, some days like that is exactly what I need to do the chill out and the focused session. And then other days it's on the fly, over the pot on the stove or in the shower or running out to the mailbox or on a phone call, about buying a house and dealing with all that kind of stuff. And I'm thinking, good God, what am I doing? And these pieces to come into sync. And as I think that I need them to come into sync, I am in that place of trying to control it. Where as I put Reiki on it, my anxiety comes down and my acceptance of what needs to happen opens up. And that's real life. And there are days when I might be cussing and doing Reiki. And I know that doesn't sound like it goes together, but sometimes it does because my emotions need the Reiki. So as I'm in this frustrated place, I'm calling in the Reiki and hopefully they're gonna level out, right? Yeah.
Such a funny visual, angry Reiki.
But,
But it's true. Like we talked about, we just had a podcast that we were doing that about inviting peace. It's the same thing about inviting Reiki. Like in the world that we live in, there's never really fully peaceful energy all the time. Just like Reiki, there's never going to be good energy, quote unquote, good, happy energy all the time. But I commend you that you have integrated and trained yourself enough to know, even in those angry moments, you can still invite it in. But it's awareness, and that's a big deal as far as integrating it in.
Well, it's there, it's there. Might as well phone a friend. Sometimes, and see, that is the thing, is that it truly is a relationship that changes over time that you have with Reiki, right? So the Reiki master that I am today is not the one that I was when I was doing sessions and doing all of that when I was learning. And still part of who she was is here in this Reiki master. And she's had to do a lot of surrendering to get here. She's had to do a lot of integration. And where I've become, I feel, the strongest in it is really being honest with myself that I need to practice it daily. And that whether it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, an hour, I am sprinkling that in however I can because it supports my well-being and it does support my relationships.
I know. I love that.
Well, okay, so I'm going to ask a, I don't know, leading kind of crazy kind of question. Do you feel that with the different styles of Reiki that we work with, do you feel you have a relationship with Reiki and that you're speaking different languages at different times based on animal Reiki, Karuna, Usui, Holy Fire, and let's throw world peace in there too, because, there's that. Or is it just kind of, one big happy family and who comes out as needed?
I would say, I feel like both. Yes, and.
Okay.
I'm going to steal yours. Yes, and. If I am just flying by the seat of my pants doing Reiki for whatever reason, say I'm outside and I'm doing Reiki, then yes, whatever comes in, comes in. But if I am doing like a specific session, or how do I explain this? There's words that don't want to come all the way. So yes, sometimes it's both. Sometimes it just comes in and there's just a big bubble of Reiki and I just call in what I need, like the pieces. But then I guess there are times when I go into a session and I know that I am going to be using Karuna symbols for whatever reason. Not that I am controlling the energy or setting that intention, but it's just intuition.
I just had an idea.
Okay.
Did you happen to use Karuna on the chicken?
I did not. Good idea. Okay.
There you go.
Thank you. Obviously, I used animal Reiki.
Right.
But no, yeah, I could see where Karuna would help. Thank you.
There's one or two symbols there that popped into my head.
Okay. Sidebar after.
Yeah. But see, and that's the thing. So that was just an example of what happens sometimes is that we're having a general conversation about Reiki and something specific wants to come in as an assistant, as a lead in, as a tool, as a frequency. See, I get hung up on the languaging because the thing is that for me, Reiki is the lead. Okay. Reiki is always in charge, highest vibration. I am not directing it. I am surrendering to it. I invite it into my life. And at the same time, we're taught from the languaging that we can understand as physical people that our mind needs something to be busy in the steps to do something because we're participating in the healing process. So symbols come in, that kind of thing in my mind. It's all Reiki and it's leading if you're willing to follow. But there's that dance that we do where it sounds like I'm controlling it. I'm not.
No. You're opening yourself to the possibilities.
Yeah.
Of what comes in.
Yeah. Where do we want to go from here to wrap this up? Because what's the biggest takeaway about integrating Reiki?
I feel like that it's different for everybody and that it's not about one specific practice. It doesn't have to look the same way every day. You don't have to do the same thing every day to develop a relationship with Reiki. And everybody is going to use it differently at different times. It's just that you use it whenever you can.
Yeah, just use it. Just use it.
Yeah.
Just invite it, surrender, whatever the words are that help you align and integrate Reiki into your life. Do it. Do that. Do that.
Yes.
All right.
Until next time. Thank you for being here with us. Take a moment to notice what resonated, what shifted, what opened, and what might be asking for your attention. This work isn't about having all the answers. It's about learning to witness yourself with curiosity, compassion, and presence as you move through your own transitional pathways. Until next time, stay grounded, stay open, and keep discovering